Hello and welcome back to another episode of me, skitzo talking to myself. Um, that's just what I'm calling it for now. Today I want to talk about introverts versus extroverts. Because you hear a lot of people be like, "Oh, I'm introverted. I don't like to go outside. I don't like talking to people. I like to be by myself." But you don't really hear people being like, "Oh, I'm extroverted. I love talking to people. I love going out. I'm outgoing." Because, like, people who are extroverted just, like, talk to people and they don't really think about that at all. They might say I'm outgoing or I like talking to people, but they're never like, "Oh, I'm an extrovert." Where, like, people who are quote unquote introverted are like, "Oh, I'm an introvert. I can't talk to the cashier." Like, yeah, which I don't really believe that, to be honest. Like, I think people are definitely both in ways because I don't think anyone can just talk to people 24/7, but I also think people can't be alone 24/7 because if they're alone 24/7 they go fucking crazy, but if you're always talking to people 24/7 then you're going to get fucking tired and uncapable. Wow. Making new words out here. Incapable of actually like communicating, or like you'll just get really tired and exhausted and want to be alone, right? So I think everything in life is a balance and you really do need to balance it, but I don't think you're one or the other. I think you're both, right? Like, and I guess people have said like, "Oh, how I recharge my energy is like, or how I recharge is like being alone versus like recharging being around people," but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe introverts are just people who never learn how to socialize, so they keep to themselves because they're scared of social situations and scared of talking to people and being judged and being rejected, so they don't like talking to people because they're uncomfortable about it. And extroverts are just people who are scared to be alone with their own thoughts and don't like themselves, so they go and talk to people all the time, so they don't have to deal with their own thoughts and they just distract themselves so they can feel okay for a second. Maybe even a false sense of happiness before, as soon as they're all alone, it comes crashing down. I don't know, I'm just saying shit. But I genuinely think people are both, because people who are like, "I'm introverted, I'm this or that," like, get them in a conversation and they're fucking yapping their head off, They're talking, like, so, yeah, I mean, there's quieter and there's louder people too, but, like, you know, I have a friend, like, that's pretty quiet around new people and stuff. And then, but once you know him, he fucking talks. Not as much as me. I'm a fucking blabbermouth, but like, I'm a yapper. But he still talks a lot. So I think, because introvert and extrovert, I guess, doesn't really apply when you know the person. Because if you know each other, then I guess it's different. But then like, if you're using that to talk to strangers, then like, well, talking to strangers is always gonna be weird at first, probably. So, or maybe you just hit it off right off the bat, but it is a bit, you know, yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I feel like people have batteries for both, like, because, your social battery can fucking change depending on your mental state, right? Like, if you're doing well, you're gonna want to go and talk to people more and be more talkative, but, if you're not doing so hot and you have, like, issues and shit, then, like, you're gonna be quieter and your social battery will drain quicker and stuff. So I don't know. I think it's a balance, like I said, and I think that you need to charge and both, because like, I don't know, if you're introverted, being by yourself all the time will probably drive you crazy. Like, truly, like people in those fucking padded rooms. What do you call it? Not insane asylum. Well, um, fuck. Those rooms, those white padded rooms that like isolation chambers? No, they're not isolation chambers. You know what I'm talking about, right? As if you could respond to me. Fuck, maybe I am the crazy one. fuck, what is it? Those fucking padded rooms, those white padded rooms, solitary confinement. So, because if you're in fucking solitary confinement, you start fucking going crazy and fucking rocking back and forth and hitting your head and shit. I guess that's different because you're not getting any stimulus from like the world. You're not even getting like fucking sun or anything. But still, if you like don't talk to anyone, then like the craving for connection will be there. So I think introversion versus ex. Oh my god, words are hard. Being an introvert versus an extrovert, it's kind of a myth. I feel like people aren't really introverted or extroverted. They're both. Like, yeah, they're outgoing sometimes, but other times they want to be by themselves, and I think that's just how humans are. And I don't believe in the myth. I think people who are like, oh, I'm introverted, I think just kind of use it as an excuse because they don't like talking to people because they never learned or have some sort of social issue. um, yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I'm based. Maybe I'm based for that, but that's how I kind of view it. Cause, like I said, like who? Cause humans need both. And I guess maybe instead of viewing it as one or the other, it's more of a percentage, right? Because you like it's a percentage of like like you may be more introverted than extroverted, but it's both. I don't know. I mean, people, fucking talk to me and hear me and stuff, and they'll be like, "Yeah, you're very outgoing. You're very extroverted. You're very this and that." Well, really, I've been mostly introverted for my life, for most of it, for over 50% of it for sure. And I was a very quiet kid. I never talked to anyone, but once I get to know you, I would fucking yap as much as I do now. But um, yeah, like I said, I was very introverted. Didn't talk to many people. I was really quiet. And then I don't know. When I got older, I just started talking more. I guess maybe I just stopped caring or whatever. But even now, I still have moments where I don't want to talk to people and I want to be alone. I don't want to be around people. Um, so whether like people say I'm extroverted, but I'm also introverted, and I have people fucking say I'm kind of both, I guess. But I think that's just how people are, because people need both. And I'm probably fucking rambling in circles at this point, but yeah. Um, so yeah, I'm still that quiet kid that fucking locks himself in his room and just fucking doesn't talk to anyone. But I'm also someone who fucking goes out, makes jokes, and I was gonna say is the life of the party, but just someone who's very talkative, who's very outgoing, and yeah, I'm both. And I think that's how most people are. And I think if they're not like that, it's due to some other thing. I think people who are like, oh, I'm just introverted is because they're, scared to talk to people or have social anxiety or whatever, or like very, yeah, just like very closed off. But people who talk too much just don't have the part of the brain that says, hey, shut up. The part of the brain just doesn't turn off. Their switch is broken, so they just don't fucking shut up. Maybe. I don't know. Or they just like talking to people. But they still, are alone. Maybe they just don't like being alone because they don't want to deal with their issues, so they go out and talk to people and are very extroverted all the time. Who knows? That's just my take, what I think, and this is just my fucking I was gonna say brain diarrhea, but this is just my thoughts and my I guess verbal diary. Anyways, that's it for this episode. I hope you got something from it. Thank you all for listening. I love you guys. No homo. Peace.